Have you ever stepped into your bathroom and felt instantly stressed? Even though it doesn't seem like you have that much stuff, you're rushing in the morning digging through toothpaste, face wash, or towels, and that tiny chaos starts to weigh on you before your day even begins. That hidden frustration keeps building, and suddenly a simple morning routine feels overwhelming. This video is designed to help you take control of your bathroom and personal space, cutting through the clutter so everything is easy to find, easy to use, and easy to maintain. We're not talking about buying fancy organizers or overhauling your space completely. We'll focus on simple practical steps that you can apply right away. I'll walk you through each step, sharing real-life examples and practical tips so you can see immediate results without feeling stressed or pressured. And the best part, you can declutter along with me as we go, so you'll start noticing a difference in your space from the very first step. By the end of this video, your bathroom won't just look cleaner, it will feel lighter, calmer, and more manageable, giving you that small but powerful boost every morning. Now, one of the first things I realized when trying to declutter my bathroom was that I couldn't even see what I truly had until everything was out in the open. I remember one morning taking everything off the shelves, out of the drawers, and even clearing the countertop. At first, it was overwhelming. I saw bottles I had forgotten, half-used products, and random items that had been shoved in the back for months. But that moment of chaos was actually the key to understanding my space. It gave me a clear visual of every single item and made it obvious which things were really necessary and which were just crowding the room. Here's how to do it. Start by removing everything from your cabinets, drawers, and any surface areas. Don't leave a single bottle or tube behind. Lay them out in a way that you can see every item at a glance. This might feel messy, but that's the point. You need a blank slate to make smart decisions. Once everything is out, you'll immediately notice patterns like multiple duplicates of the same product or items you haven't touched in months. The real benefit comes after this step. When you put items back in an organized way later, you'll know exactly what belongs where, and every object will have its purpose. Plus, it makes the next steps, sorting, grouping, and limiting quantities, so much easier because you're starting with a completely honest view of your belongings. So grab a basket, clear out your cabinets, and don't skip this step. It's the foundation for creating a calm, functional bathroom that's actually enjoyable to use every day. Once you've done it, the next step of sorting becomes straightforward and even a little satisfying. Tomorrow, I'll be sharing about tips for decluttering your wardrobe for the new year. Don't miss this next video. Then, after clearing everything out, the next step that made the biggest difference for me was sorting items by how often I actually use them. Before, I used to shove everything back into drawers in a random mix: daily skincare products, masks I used once in a while, and old toiletries all jumbled together. Every morning, I'd spend minutes digging through things, feeling frustrated before I even started my day. Once I started consciously separating items into 3 groups: daily, use occasional use, and rarely or never use the bathroom instantly, felt more manageable. It's amazing how seeing clearly what you actually reach for versus what's just sitting there changes your perspective. Daily essentials like toothbrush, face wash, and moisturizer go into the most accessible spots right at eye level or within arm's reach. Products you use occasionally can be tucked a bit higher or further back. Items you hardly use can be set aside for donation storage elsewhere or simply discarded. This method doesn't just make your space look cleaner, it removes mental clutter too. You stop overthinking and automatically know where to find what you need. What surprised me most is how quickly it becomes a habit. I don't have to decide where to put things anymore because each product has a home based on how I actually use it. By the end of this step, your bathroom is no longer a chaotic jumble. It's a system that works for your routine. It's simple, yet the impact is immediate. You save time, reduce stress, and feel more in control from the moment you walk in. Once you've sorted by frequency, the next step is all about letting go of what's unnecessary so your space stays light and functional. Then, a truly eye-opening moment in my bathroom decluttering journey came when I finally faced all the expired and old products I had been holding onto. I found lip balms that had hardened, half-empty creams that had been sitting for over a year, and multiple bottles of face toner that I never used. At first, I felt a little guilty thinking about the money wasted, but the truth is, keeping these items only adds clutter and mental weight. There's something liberating about finally letting them go. Once everything expired or open too long was tossed, the space suddenly felt lighter, and I could breathe a little easier every time I opened the cabinet. I started noticing a pattern. The products I kept using were those within their shelf life and those I genuinely liked. Anything else, even if it looked new or slightly used, was just taking up mental and physical space. And it's not just about expiration dates. Sometimes we keep duplicates or items just in case, which we rarely, if ever, reach for. I learned to ask myself, do I use this regularly, and does it serve me right now? If the answer was no, it went straight out. This step made a huge difference in how I viewed my routine. Every morning, reaching for my favorite products feels effortless, and there's no second guessing whether I should use an old cream or toss it. It's a small change, but the impact on daily ease and calm is massive. After clearing expired items, your next focus naturally becomes limiting quantities, which ensures your bathroom stays organized without feeling crowded. Next, after clearing out expired and rarely used items, the next step that made a huge difference in my bathroom was learning to limit the number of products I keep for regular use. Before, I tended to stockpile lotions, face washes, and shampoos, just in case, thinking it was better to have extra than to run out. In reality, having so many options created clutter and made daily routines slower and more stressful. Every morning, I'd spend extra time choosing between multiple bottles of the same product, which was unnecessary and mentally draining. The shift came when I decided to only keep enough for 1 to 2 months of actual use. For example, I now keep a single face wash, moisturizer, and shampoo in my easy-to-reach drawer, and anything beyond that either stays in storage elsewhere or gets used gradually. This small change immediately simplified my mornings. No more digging through half-empty bottles or worrying about which product to pick. It also gave me a sense of control and clarity in a space that used to feel crowded and chaotic. Limiting quantities isn't about being frugal or strict. It's about making your daily life smoother. When you reduce excess, everything you see and touch has a purpose. It's amazing how much lighter and calmer a bathroom feels when there's only what you actually need. Plus, this habit prevents clutter from sneaking back in because you're constantly aware of what belongs in the main space. Once you've decided on the right amount for each category, it becomes much easier to organize by accessibility, placing daily essentials within reach and less used items out of the way so your bathroom finally works with your routine instead of against it. Now, once you've sorted and limited your products, the next game changer is placing the items you use daily within easy reach. Before I made this change, my go-to skincare and hair products were buried deep in drawers or tucked behind other bottles. Every morning, I had to shuffle things around, and sometimes even knock over items just to find what I needed. It sounds small, but those extra minutes and little frustrations built up, making my morning routine unnecessarily stressful. Now I keep daily essentials right at eye level or within arm's reach. Toothbrush, face wash, moisturizer, and my most used hair products are on the top shelf or front of a drawer where I can grab them without thinking. It's incredible how much smoother mornings feel when you don't have to search or make decisions about placement. It becomes automatic, almost effortless. Even a tiny habit like knowing exactly where your sunscreen lives can make your routine feel calm and intentional. I also noticed a mental shift when everything has a designated spot. I start the day feeling organized instead of frazzled. Less visual clutter means less stress, and it's easier to put things back in place at the end of the day. And because daily items are easily accessible, I naturally reach for them instead of procrastinating or leaving products scattered around the bathroom. After setting up your essentials this way, the next step is to organize less used items strategically, keeping them out of the way but still available. This ensures your bathroom stays tidy, functional, and easy to maintain every day without extra effort. Next, after placing daily essentials where they are easy to reach, a huge improvement comes from grouping your items based on their function. Before I started doing this, I used to mix face products, hair products, and personal care items in the same drawer or shelf. Every morning, reaching for my favorite cream or shampoo meant sifting through unrelated items, which wasted time and caused little frustrations that added up. When I began arranging items by purpose, skincare together, hair care together, personal hygiene products together, the difference was immediate. For example, all cleansers and moisturizers are in one tray or drawer, hair masks and brushes in another, and razors, cotton pads, and body care items in a separate section. This way, everything has a logical place, and it becomes almost effortless to grab exactly what is needed. Visual clarity makes the space feel calmer, and the routine itself becomes more enjoyable. It's amazing how much simpler mornings feel when your brain doesn't have to make extra decisions about where to find things. Grouping items functionally also makes maintenance easier. When each category has its own space, it's clear if something is missing or if clutter is creeping back. It also encourages you to return items to the right spot after use so the bathroom stays organized without constant effort. After implementing this step, the next focus is keeping each group contained in one tray or drawer, which prevents everything from shifting around and keeps the system intact. Now, after grouping your items by function, the next key step is to keep each group contained in a dedicated tray or drawer. Before doing this, I used to pile products loosely in drawers or on shelves. Even if they were grouped by purpose, everything would shift whenever I opened a drawer or moved something around. The result was a messy, chaotic space that felt out of control almost immediately. Placing each group in its own container changed everything. For instance, I now have a small tray for daily skincare, another for hair products, and a box for personal hygiene items. Each tray fits perfectly in its designated drawer or shelf, keeping items from sliding into one another. This simple adjustment makes it so easy to maintain order. Every morning, I can grab a tray or reach into a single drawer and find exactly what I need without digging or moving things around. It also encourages putting items back in the correct container after use, so clutter doesn't creep back over time. The mental relief is surprisingly powerful. When everything has a container, the bathroom feels calmer and small tasks like cleaning surfaces or wiping shelves become faster and less annoying. It's a small habit that produces consistent results and supports all the previous steps you've done, limiting quantities, grouping by function, and making essentials accessible. With each group contained, the next focus becomes keeping the countertop clear, which ensures your bathroom stays visually open and easy to clean every day without extra effort. Finally, after organizing and containing your groups, the last crucial step is to keep your countertops completely clear. In the past, my bathroom counter was always littered with a mix of daily products, empty bottles, and random items just in case. It never looked neat, and cleaning felt like a chore I kept postponing. By committing to keeping the surface empty, I immediately noticed how much calmer and lighter the space felt. Even a small counter can feel open and functional if nothing unnecessary is left out. I now only leave out items I truly use multiple times a day, like my toothbrush, hand soap, or face cleanser if I'm in a rush. Everything else either stays in drawers, trays, or cabinets. The difference is remarkable. Cleaning the countertop takes seconds instead of minutes, and it's easy to maintain daily. Mornings become smoother because I'm not moving things around just to make space for my routine. There's also a psychological benefit. Walking into a clutter-free counter makes the entire bathroom feel organized, even if drawers or cabinets are still being adjusted. This habit of keeping the countertop clear ties together everything you've done so far, limiting quantities, grouping functionally, containing items, and placing essentials accessibly. When the surface is free, it creates room to breathe and reinforces the habit of returning items to their proper spot. By making this simple rule a routine, your bathroom not only stays tidy, but also becomes a space that feels peaceful and effortless to use every day. Now that you've gone through all these steps, from clearing everything out, sorting by frequency, eliminating expired items, limiting quantities, placing essentials accessibly, grouping by function, containing each group to keeping countertops clear, you've transformed your bathroom into a space that's calm, functional, and easy to maintain. The real beauty of this approach is that it's not about perfection or fancy organizers. It's about creating a system that works for your daily routine and actually reduces stress. Try applying even a single tip today and notice the difference. Maybe start with clearing a drawer or grouping your skincare products, whatever feels doable. The small changes add up quickly, and seeing your space organized will give you that satisfying light feeling every time you open a cabinet or step into your bathroom. If you've already tried these tips, share your experience in the comments. How did it feel when your bathroom looked cleaner and everything had its place? Or tell me which tip made the biggest impact on your routine. Reading your stories not only helps others, but it also reminds us that decluttering is a journey we can enjoy together. And if you want to keep this decluttering momentum going, I've got a video coming up on how I organize my wardrobe in the spring. It's perfect for taking the same principles from your bathroom and applying them to your closet, creating a wardrobe that's simple, practical, and easy to maintain every day. You can check it out right after this one. Trust me, your mornings will feel so much lighter. Remember, the goal isn't to do it all at once or create a perfectly Instagram-ready space. It's about building small, practical habits that make your life easier and your personal space more peaceful every single day.